You didn't know back then what you've been knowing now. Before the broken skin and letting your love out, playing the tape again. It's such a sorry sound. Old shaky monologue, just dragging you around, reaching for reset, reaching for reason to begin, watching the sunset, front porch cigarette, you my best friend. You didn't know back then what you've been knowing now. Black lines and dominoes, pushing each other down. When all the games run through with all
2026 is quickly approaching, and if you are feeling a little scattered or even just a little overwhelmed about exactly where to start, it is okay. And I think one thing that really does make me feel that way, or can make me feel that way, is understanding that just because a day rolls around, it doesn't change anything. Nothing changes on January 1st unless you do. Because the people that want real transformation and real change don't wait on a certain date. They just go ahead and they start taking the action. They raise their standards and they go ahead and they start showing up as that version of themselves that they want to be, as if that life is already theirs. And if you are watching this, you are probably like me and you are feeling the antsiness of wanting to go ahead and step into your 2026 goals and just get a head start, because you're actually ready for 2026 to be different. So in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step exactly how you can prep for the new year and the things that I'm doing, so you can do it in a way that feels grounded, it feels simple, and it's actually doable. It is your typical gloomy December day. It is freezing cold outside, everything is gray. It's kind of sad, honestly. It reminds me of Halloween Town whenever Calabar's son got a hold of the town and put that spell on it and turned everything gray. It's kind of the vibes I'm getting today. So it's okay though, because you know what? We are just going to romanticize it. That is why we decorate our home like this for Christmas time, so we can actually just be cozy. We're gonna sit by the tree, buy all of our cozy lights, and we're going to just get our ish together for 2026, so that whenever the sun does come back out and the flowers start to bloom again, we actually feel like we're coming back to life. Okay, we are ready for spring, we are ready for summer, and we are ready for that glow up that we all really want. And I'm gonna show you some of the things that I'm doing to help myself get ready for the new year and how you can break down setting goals for yourself. I'm going to show you some of the things that really help me and how you can break your goals down in a way that actually takes away the pressure of it, and it gives you clarity, and it also makes you really, really excited to show up for them. Because while everybody else is just going to wait for January 1st to roll around, we're going to get a head start on our goals, which we do have some momentum going. I'm doing a 60-day challenge. If you've been watching my videos, you will know all about that, but if you haven't, basically it is 7 rules for 60 days. I can link a video up here all about it, but I've been doing that for the last, I think it's day 34 today. So we're moving and grooving. We're over the halfway point and I feel amazing. So it's something you can do if you really want to get some momentum also for the new year and just want to feel really, really good. All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's get prepping because we have lots to do today. Okay, so this is the first thing I do when I'm prepping for a new year, and this is an essential step. I have to do this before I do any of my other prep because I feel like it truly sets the precedence, and it's such a good foundation for the prepping and planning of my new year, and that is finding a daily planner. Find a planner that fits your lifestyle the most. The planner I used last year was the Day Designer, and it's a great planner. I used to use them in high school whenever I was balancing all of these classes and balancing working a job and all these other things. It honestly was such a saving grace. Like, I loved it, but I felt like I wanted to just find something a little bit different this year, and I felt like my needs were a little bit different, and that is totally okay. I found one that I absolutely love. I will share it with you in case you're looking for one too. The planner this year is from The Daily, and she is so chic. Oh my goodness, look at this color. It's like this gorgeous muted pink, very simplistic gold accents. And I like to get a planner where if it's just sitting on the desk closed, it looks really good. And I know it's kind of crazy, I kind of like to match it with my decor. Like, I want it to look good with like any seasonal decor I have out. I want her to just blend in perfectly, and she does. I will show you what it looks like because I was looking for one that really was giving me more of like, I could kind of lay out my weeks and then break it down into days, and this one has so many ways to really break things down. So let me show you really quickly. Look at how clean looking it looks just sitting. I love that in a planner. Anyway, so opening it up, it has a really nice little bookmark if you use the bookmarks. I feel like I really should. I never do, but I need to. And then same thing with the stickers. I feel like I never use them, but these are really nice if you do like the stickers with your planners. And then here is a cover page, so writing your name. And then it has a whole layout of 2026 and 2027. And even cooler, she put a key at the bottom of every page. So you can make like a key of appointments and holidays, and you can see a total overview of the year, which I really like. And that's a feature I haven't seen in a planner. And then the next page is just all of the holidays in 2026 and 2027. So you can see what is what. And then here is a birthdays page. My other planner didn't have this, and I love that. I love you can see like you can go to it every month and be like, all right, whose birthday do I have this month? And it can get kind of chaotic whenever you're balancing your own life, so it's nice to just have that there. I love this. So this is the yearly to-dos page, so you can really use this after breaking your goals down, or use it to help you break down your goals if you wanted to. And then okay, so we have a usernames and passwords page, which is so helpful because mine are kind of all over the place, so I'm excited to just put them all in one spot. That's going to be so helpful. And if you travel, so here you could put a travel plan. She has like the flight details, expenses, you can do the activities and everything that you're booking to do while you're there, and then also a packing list, because Lord knows it is so overwhelming packing for a trip, so this is so nice to have. She has 2 pages of the travel plan, and then here is a spring cleaning checklist. This is so nice, and I'm excited to go buy this whenever the time comes around for spring cleaning, so this is just a really nice thing to have. And then also next to it is a cleaning schedule. This is something I wanted to focus on this next year, is just staying upkept with some of the things that I feel like I don't pay much attention to. I do my daily cleaning and just upkeep. It's just going to be really nice to set an even better, more efficient cleaning schedule and have a certain place for it. I love that. There's also a gift organizer list, so you could use this for Christmas, you could use it for birthdays, whatever you want, but I feel like this is really nice too. But I feel like I'd probably use this mostly for Christmas, and I want to do a better job of doing it kind of throughout the year so I'm not cramming in December to get everybody's gift. And then there's also a notes page, so you can just jot down whatever your heart desires, and it's double-sided. So I'm going to show you what the monthly each month looks like, and also the weekly and daily. So I'll show you January. So that's what each month looks like. It's so sleek and minimal. I love it. So this is the monthly overview. So every single day has lines, and I love that because I feel like I cram so much into these little squares. So having lines is so nice. And also she put a key to highlight things in the monthly calendar that you write down. And then we have a notes little section, and then also a monthly to-do list. So this is such a helpful way to plan your months, and I think it's going to be so helpful. Okay, and then you have a monthly budget page, which this is going to be amazing. I love how you can just break down all these expenses in one place, because I had a budget planner, but it was separate from my other planner. This was honestly one of the spreads that sold me, because I wanted to combine the two, because I was really tired of carrying 2 different planners, one for planning and one for budgeting. So I love to write down everything we spend. I'm very analog. I know there's digital ways to do it, but I'm old school and I like the pen to paper. And if you're wanting to get your finances in order, I highly suggest you write down everything you spend, because it will deter you from buying the most random things. I swear. You will not want to record that expense, and that alone will keep you from spending money. And then she also gives you space here to write down all of the expenses that you have and that you spend, which is so nice. And then you have a monthly reflection at the beginning of every single month. So you have a little reflection on the month before, and then you have like, you can rate the month before so you can actually do better, which I love this. I love reflecting on the previous month so that you can actually see where you are and figure out where you want to go with the next month. And then there's also some goal setting for the upcoming month and also a brain dump, which I love this because I have so much that goes on in my head. So having a place to write it of the things I want to get done that month and being able to break it up into categories is really cool. There's also a weekly overview every single week so you can plan all of your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And then there's also a grocery list you can write in here, and then you can kind of see your week at an overview. So if you have stuff due throughout the week, you can write them here, appointments, and you can see your week at a bird's eye view, a weekly to-do list. Then you have a little habit tracker down here, and then also you can write down your workouts. So I really loved this planner. Oh, and also a little monthly overview. But I love this because everything I was tracking is in one spot now. I was tracking my habits, I was tracking my budget, and I was like writing down things daily in all these different places. And the reason I wanted this planner is because it puts it all in one, which I freaking love. So this is the daily spread. This is what every single day in the planner looks like. So on the left, you have all the time slots, and this goes from 5 a.m. all the way to midnight for all of you that are really busy. I know there's probably some days I'm going to be filling all of that out, but I love that that's an option. I feel like there's a lot of planners that don't have that big of a time window. And then you have room for your to-do list and some notes. And that's just what every single day looks like. So I just really love this planner so much because, like I said, it puts everything I was doing in one spot and it fits exactly what I need, which is absolutely key whenever you are looking for a planner and investing in a planner, because it's honestly your holy grail. It is your Bible. This is your guiding light, and it needs to fit your lifestyle. No matter what planner you get, the key is for it to really fit what it is that you need. But it is important to get a planner because that is your guiding light. That is like your Bible. If you are looking to hit goals, you really have to stay organized because we're human and we have a ton of responsibilities every single day. And there's been so many studies that have been done that it actually boosts your productivity by 25% writing down your to-do list and writing down your goals, because it really just helps decrease all of the decision making of trying to remember everything you have to do in your brain. And overall, it's going to reduce stress because it takes that decision fatigue away from you. So please just find a planner that works for you. This one, yes, is an investment, but truly I believe in investing in myself and I believe in investing in my goals and the organization in my life, and I know how important a planner is for me in that. So that's just why I went with this one, and it has everything I need in one spot, so I don't have a whole bunch of little journals anymore. I love this planner and it fits absolutely everything I needed. So I will link this down below. They have different colors, different covers. If you do like this one and want to get the same one, you can definitely check that out. So she is going to be with us through all of 2026 and I cannot wait. We're actually going to go ahead and start filling out some of these little pages, like the birthday page and just a couple different things, just to get it going so that it's not like filling everything out on January 1st. I want to have that stuff done so that I'm just going to go ahead and start using it once it starts, because it doesn't have December in it. It does start in January, so it gives me some time to prep it. So let's go ahead, let's fill that out for a little bit, and then afterwards I'm going to show you something else that has really gotten me so excited to start the new year. A package I have been waiting for a couple days. I'm so excited to share it with you. I did go a little productive shopping, we'll call it, on Amazon, because there was a couple things I was really looking for that I feel like would really help me with my 2026 prep. I do want to say, no, you do not need to go spend money to prep for a new year. That is not at all what I'm saying. These are just things that I feel like are an investment in myself and in my goals that I know are tools that I can use to push myself closer to where I want to be. And I feel like if you ever have something and you're able to make that investment on yourself, the ROI is absolutely worth it. You are worth the investment. So that's where I was getting with this. And there was also a couple deals on Black Friday, which I've been looking at this stuff for a minute now, and it did go on sale. So I was like, okay, I may as well just go ahead and do it. So let me show you. The first thing I want to show you is actually what I do every year, along with finding a planner that truly helps me so much feel rejuvenated for the new year, and that is finding a nonfiction book. And more specifically, a nonfiction book that fits whatever it is that you feel like you need in your life at that time. For this year, I decided to get the Glucose Revolution, and this is by a French scientist. Her name is Jessie. I do not even know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry, girl, if you're watching this. I freaking love her. By the way, I'm so sorry if you hear leaf blowers at all in the background. They're landscaping today, and I don't know why they chose to do it today, but they usually do it on a different day. Anyway, so I apologize if you hear that. But I'm really diving into the world of blood sugar, of glucose, because they have linked it to so many diseases. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, you'll know I have seen so many people close to me get so sick, and I've lost people close to me due to these diseases and not taking care of themselves. And it truly, after all these studies have come out, is really linked to sugar and ultimately obviously how you take care of yourself. But like, for instance, we lost Cooper's mom whenever I was 21. I lost my dad very suddenly at 23. I lost my grandfather at the end of 2023, and Cooper's dad also did have brain cancer through all of that as well, which he's thankfully healed, thank goodness. But just seeing so many people close to me experience deathly sicknesses and these horrible health conditions, it's such a wake-up call, because I have those same genes, especially with my dad and my grandfather. I have those genes within me, and I know that if I make the same decisions that they did, that's ultimately going to happen to me too. And I want to learn from that. And I think it's so important, if you've experienced loss, if you've experienced the heaviness and just seeing people around you get so sick, I really think it's important to learn from that. And that's why I'm really diving into glucose and blood sugar, because it's all linked to this. Sugar feeds cancer. Alzheimer's is sugar of the brain. Like, it all comes down to your insulin, and whether you're insulin resistant, you can develop diabetes. Like, it is just such a realm of health that I want to be fully educated on. I will absolutely be sharing everything I learned with you. She has studied the molecule glucose itself, and she has learned different ways that we can actually almost biohack our bodies into optimizing blood sugar and not raising it, and how to keep it maintained, and just actionable ways to take the science that she has learned and she's practiced and to implement it into your daily life. So I am so excited to read this. I've wanted to read this for a while now, and I was like, you know what? I think now is the time. Now is the time, because I really do want 2026 to be such a glow up year for me, and I think this is such a great way to start, and I'm so excited to dive into it. What's really important is whenever you are trying to find a nonfiction book to read, is you really need to ask yourself, what is it that I am wanting to focus on in 2026? What area am I trying to improve? And then find a book on that. If it's habits, find a book on habits. If it's your overall mindset, go find a book on mindset. If you're wanting to start your own business, maybe read a book on entrepreneurship and the mindset and the beliefs around that. Like, those are the things that are really going to keep you focused, and they're going to keep you motivated. And then also, girl, I have been feeling so bloated since Thanksgiving. I eat a low-calorie, high-protein diet at least 5 days a week. I kind of want to lower my carbs just a little bit and see what happens. But I was looking for a good hot chocolate, because hot chocolate does have some carbs in there. So I was like, okay, I need to find one that I can just enjoy this time of year, because I don't want to miss out. We can enjoy where we are and get to our goals. I love Bobby. If you don't follow him, you should. And he has a prebiotic keto hot chocolate. You just add milk to it. You can have it hot or cold. It is only 2.5 grams of net carbs, which, if you don't know, net carbs are total carbs minus fiber minus sugar alcohols. This one has 8 carbs, so dietary fibers 2, which is 6, and then sugar alcohol, 6 minus 3.5 is where he gets the 2.5 from. Very minimal ingredients, and it's only 45 calories per scoop, so I figured I would put this in my Fairlife milk and make it like a protein keto hot chocolate. So it'd be 14 grams of protein. Maybe we'll make it after lunch and see how it tastes. And keto is also very, very good if you are trying to regulate your blood sugar, because it essentially can eliminate a lot of the sugar from your diet because you're eating so little carbs depending on the level of keto that you're doing. But that's another reason I really want to lower my carbs and see if it really helps with my bloating, especially after a Thanksgiving meal. Another goal I have for 2026, I'm making it a glow up year. Okay, we're doing the things that we wanted to do in the past but just kind of let slip by, and we're gonna take action on those things this year. And for me, that is my skincare. I grew up with very oily, very acne prone skin, and oh my gosh, I fought it so much, especially up until probably my mid-20s. My early 20s, it was still pretty rough. I can pop pictures on the screen here. I struggled so much with it, and honestly now I'm mostly dealing with the scars. And truthfully, if you have watched my videos and you see me anytime come on here with no makeup, that is such a big step for me. You have no idea. There's so many times I didn't even want Cooper to look at me because I didn't have makeup on, because I felt so insecure about my acne scars. There's no reason to feel that way. So if you struggle with the same thing, I'm right here with you. I've been through it. I completely understand. I wouldn't even go to the beach or the pool without makeup. Like, that's how bad it was. And it was just such a struggle growing up, and it still is. Like I said, I'm still fighting the occasional breakout, and I have the scars still, and I'm sure in some shots you can probably tell the texture of my skin is just not where I want it to be, and it just needs a little help. So, good old TikTok. I have been diving down the Korean skincare rabbit hole. I'm intrigued. In this particular package, we got the Medicube Pink Peptide Serum. This is a very affordable serum. It's not like $100 like I know some serums can be, but this is the one that I got. And I have the jelly cream moisturizer coming. I think it comes tomorrow. I can pop that on the screen too, but it has a lot of collagen in it and just a lot of nourishing things for your skin. But Korean skincare is supposedly better ingredients, and it gets you that glass skin effect, especially if you're consistent with it. I'm going to be implementing a gua sha routine and using the Korean skincare products. If I can open this, I will show you what it looks like. But this is essentially to help with uneven skin tone and the texture of your skin. So that is what I'm excited for. Oh my gosh, I can't. It's taped shut. Oh, the landscapers are back. Oh, goody. This is the bottle, and it just is a dropper. So I'm excited to try this, and I cannot wait to get the jelly moisturizer because I've fought my skin for so long, and it's time. It is time to tackle it, and I'm grateful for TikTok for actually making Korean skincare a well-known thing, because it truly is more affordable and it does have better ingredients in it. This last thing in the package was a necessity. We use it all the time, but I mean, I can show it to you if you want to incorporate some more non-toxic things in your household. I've changed our detergent tablets from what we used to use, which was Cascade, but they have a lot of microplastics and just not good chemicals in there. So I've switched us over to Blueland, and I love these little tablets. They're just like white capsules, so they have no microplastics or anything in there, and they have really good ingredients, and I really do love this brand. It cleans our dishes really well. Good ingredients, good for the environment. So I just needed a refill, and it was on sale for Black Friday, so I just decided to grab a bag because we were down to our last like 2 tablets. But yeah, that was my little Amazon haul. I am getting so hungry, so I'm gonna put this stuff away and then we're gonna start some lunch. I am trying a new recipe, so we'll see how this goes. I've never made stuffed bell peppers. I've never had stuffed bell peppers. So I wanted to do something just a little bit different, and I had these 2 bell peppers in the fridge and I was like, you know what? We're gonna stuff these. So I think they came out looking really good. It was really easy. All you do is cook the beef and cut the onions, mix it in there, stuff the peppers and bake them for 10 minutes. And then at the 2-minute mark, I went ahead and put some cheese on there to melt and topped it with tomatoes and a spicy mango guacamole that I got from Trader Joe's that I put on literally everything. And this just looks so divine. I cannot wait to dive into this because I am so freaking hungry, but look how pretty this looks and how colorful it is. I've honestly been so inspired with my food lately too, so I'm just excited to integrate that lower carb kind of style to my food because I think it's forcing me to be even more creative because I just love potatoes. Potatoes are like my love language. I usually never consider something a meal unless there is a potato with it. So I think this is a really good thing and I'm excited to see if it actually helps my bloating. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go dive into this because I am very, very hungry. And then I'm gonna share with you step by step how I break down goals to set for the next year because I know that it can be a little overwhelming and there's probably a lot that you want to do. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can break it down so you can actually do everything that you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and refuel and then I will catch you after lunch. It is getting so cold and so dark. It's insane to me that it's still like in the middle of the day because it looks like the sun is setting. This time of year is just so difficult sometimes with lighting, but it's okay. I'm all nice and cozy. We have our keto hot chocolate that I am so excited to try, and I'm wrapped up in my favorite blanket. I got this from Target. I got it back in like, I don't know, 2023 or something like that, and I take it literally everywhere around the house with me at this time of year, so I figured we could just get cozy and talk all about goals. But first, let's try this keto hot chocolate because I am intrigued. It looked really good, it smelled really good, but I definitely had to mix it quite a bit just to get it to actually blend, and my milk was pretty hot. My milk was boiling when I pulled it out of the microwave, so let's see. That's really good for a healthy hot chocolate. Oh my gosh. I love that. If you are on a health and fitness journey and you still want to feel like you're enjoying sweet treats this time of year but not getting thrown off, this is a good option. Oh my gosh. I can link this down below. Also, this mug is one of my favorites. I got it from Hobby Lobby I think like a year or 2 ago, and I think they still have it. So if you like this mug, definitely go there because I think they do have it. But yeah, this hot chocolate was a win. I'm so excited. I was a little nervous that it was gonna not be good, but I like it a lot. And it also has prebiotics in it, which is even better. So we're helping our gut while we're enjoying a cup of hot chocolate on this incredibly gloomy day. It's literally so cold. It's like one of those days where you just like dread going outside because you just know you're going to be so chilly. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and talk about goals and what exactly you can do to break them down in your mind so that you can actually feel like you can tackle them and set them in a way where you're not overwhelmed. Because if you're very ambitious and goal driven like I am, there's so many things you want to do and so many parts of your life that you want to hit that it just you have to slow yourself down and get yourself some direction. So the first thing that we really have to do before we even think about setting goals is we have to look at 2025. We have to reflect on this year, and I have 5 questions that are really going to help you do that. The very first question that I have for you is, what did I settle for this year and what standard am I no longer willing to accept? I talked about it in my last video, but it's so important to identify the patterns, the habits, the people, whatever it is that has really held you back, and you leave it in 2025. The second question is, what story did I keep telling myself in 2025 that no longer fits the person that I'm becoming? We tell ourselves stories through our thoughts and just the beliefs that we reiterate to ourselves on a daily basis. So becoming so aware of what those things are is going to completely change your identity as you step into 2026, because I promise you there are thoughts that you are having on a daily basis that are feeding a story story that you don't align with. And if you can catch those thoughts and replace them with the thoughts your highest self would have, you're unstoppable. The third question is, if I were to step into my highest, best future self right now, what decisions would I be making? And this is going to help you truly step into that version of yourself. So you go ahead and you start acting like her, you make decisions like her before you actually become her. Because the more and more you do that, it's going to normalize it in your brain that you are this person, and you're therefore going to attract everything that that version of you has. And the universe is just going to align. The fourth question is, what skill, mindset, or habit would have made 2025 easier, and how can I intentionally build that in 2026? And the fifth question, and this is probably one of the most important, I feel like, is what did I tolerate in 2025 that my higher self is no longer available for? Because again, whatever has been holding you back, you cannot bring it into 2026. And I'm not saying that you can't completely eliminate whatever this is or get away from whatever this is, but if you can even control your response or your reaction to it, that is going to change everything for you. Because until you learn these lessons the universe is trying to teach you, they're going to keep repeating themselves, and they're going to get louder every single time until you learn this lesson. I promise you, I have experienced this firsthand. So after you do those reflection questions, which I'm telling you, it is so important to do a reflection, I personally really like to evaluate how my year went and how I handled the year, because I don't want to repeat the same year, and I know you don't either. Not saying there wasn't great parts of it, but there's definitely aspects of myself that I want to grow, and you can't grow those parts if you just keep dragging them along and you don't become aware that these things are here that you need to address. So make sure you do those reflection questions. And afterwards, I want you to look at that as closing the chapter on 2025. And I don't want you to beat yourself up when you do this, because even if it wasn't the year that you anticipated, and maybe you didn't hit the goals you set out to, maybe you hit them really close, whatever it is, it was still a great year, and you should be incredibly proud of yourself. So do not beat yourself up, just be very proud of yourself, and just be so excited for 2026. Now, the first thing we have to do is we need to pick a word of the year. And personally, I've given this a lot of thought, and the first word that really struck me that I was like, ooh, I think that's the one, is I'm thinking mine's gonna be relentless, because I want to be unstoppable. I want to just be this powerful, strong version of myself. I feel like that word just really embodies it, and embodies like boss woman and just ready to take on anything, and she can handle anything. I think that might be my word for the year. So really think about what you can have as your theme of the year, and you could even break it into quarters if you wanted to, but I like to have an overarching North Star word of the year. And I like this because it helps you narrow down your goals, because if a certain goal doesn't align with that identity or that theme, then you know it's just not going to be for this year. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to pick 3 core areas of your life that you really want to focus on. This could be health and your energy, it could be money, or it could be a very career focused year. Like whatever it is you're wanting to focus on, pick 3 areas, and those are going to be your like trifecta for 2026. In 2026, I will be proud of my health because, or I will be proud of my finances because this is not only going to help you with that identity for it, it's also going to help you tie a feeling to how you're going to feel when you reach those goals. And if you can keep embodying that feeling, it for one keeps you motivated, and 2, it's going to help you actually become that, because feeling and emotion is incredibly powerful when you're manifesting anything or just even working towards something. Now I want you to look at every area, and I want you to pick 1 yearly goal for each area, and keep it a pretty like clean and measurable goal. So like for your health, it could be I worked out for 4 times a week for 2026 and I'm so proud of myself, or I saved X amount of dollars and I paid off this amount of debt. Like just keep it very clean and very simple, and this is going to be your 1 year goal for that area. Okay, and now we're going to slice these on up. We're going to make them bite-sized, and we're going to break them into the 4 quarters of the year. So we're going to make 12-week goals based on that 1 year goal. And the reason I really like to do this is because yearly goals give you such a good amount of time for you to procrastinate. They don't give any urgency versus short-term goals. They give that sense of urgency, and I feel like personally when I set those and I hit those, that I'm getting closer to my goal way quicker, and it actually happens quicker because you aren't just like procrastinating it to the next month. Like every single day counts. I've done the 12-week year before, and whenever you do that challenge or that system, I guess it's not really, it is kind of a challenge. Anyway, 1 day equals 1 week. So every day becomes that much more valuable. It, again, creates that sense of urgency versus saying like, oh, by December I'll have this. Like, no girl, by March, we're gonna hit this. It gets you going a lot more than saying you're doing something in December whenever you're gonna give yourself a 3-month timeline. And for the first quarter, I want you to ask yourself, what is a realistic milestone that I could hit within this time? And then for quarter 2, what is the next step if Q1 actually goes really well? And then for the third quarter of the year, I want you to ask yourself how you can build on that. And then for the last quarter of the year, I want you to ask yourself, how can I finish strong and lock this in as my new normal? For example, let's say you want to pay off $2,400 in debt. For the first quarter, your goal could be to pay off $600. Let's say you do that. Quarter 2 rolls around, you want to pay off another $600. You do that. Quarter 3 rolls around, you want to pay off another $600, but you also want to save $300. So you accomplish the first 2 quarters, and now you're going to build a little bit more. And then say quarter 4 rolls around, you pay off that last $600 and you save $500. So that yearly goal is truly just to give you direction, but with the quarterly goals, you're just focused on the next step, because it's so much easier to focus on the next step when you know where you're actually going. Then we're gonna break it down even further, and you're going to look at your quarterly goals and you're going to ask yourself, what's a weekly action that would move this forward? And then from that, I want you to figure out what's the smallest daily step that you can commit to that will also keep moving forward to get you to the weekly goal. So you're really breaking it down from the year. Oh my gosh, they're landscaping. Why are they still landscaping? Let's say your quarter 1 goal is to lose a certain amount of weight. Maybe your weekly goal can be to move your body 4 times a week, but your daily actions are maybe to count calories. When you can get really clear on the direction that you're going, but you can break it down into how to actually get there, that is how you're going to take away feeling so overwhelmed for the new year. And that's how you're actually going to achieve these goals. Then you're going to build a system of little weekly check-ins just to make sure things are going as according as they need to, and to make sure you don't need to pivot, because sometimes as you get going and you start working on things, you might need to pivot at some point, and that is okay, but you have to know when to do that so you're not wasting your time. This is your 7-step plan to reset for 2026. We're going to choose one North Star for the year / a word of the year. Then you're going to pick up to 3 core areas to focus on. You're going to set 1 yearly goal per area and then break those down into 12-week goals. And then you're going to take your quarter 1 and you're going to turn it into daily and weekly actions so you can actually implement it. And then you're going to set up a system to check in with yourself and pivot where you need to. This is the exact way that I'm going to be setting my goals and the system I'm going to use to make sure I'm going into it not feeling overwhelmed and just feeling the excitement of wanting to achieve the things that I want and to become the version of myself that I want to be. And I really hope this helped you if you are wanting to set goals and you're intimidated by it, or you just don't even know where to start and you feel a little scattered. I hope this helped you out, and I hope this video gave you the inspiration that you needed and the motivation to get started on your 2026 prep. There are more videos on the way of prepping for 2026, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss those. But I really hope you enjoyed this one. I know this is something that I could have used a while back, so hopefully this is a great little resource for you and you feel like you can come right back to it whenever you need it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending the day with me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in my very next video. I'm gonna go bundle up now. It's freezing.